All right, today I want to talk about the different pace that the mental healing versus the physical healing takes on. So I feel like in recovery, people will become nutritionally rehabilitated much faster than somebody will mentally rewire. But the problem is this: in recovery, people try to match the two. So they feel like they need to very slowly and steadily increase their intake and start to incorporate different foods and quantities of food to match where their mental state is. The problem with that, when you do that, is it's very slow and careful. You're still following your eating disorder rules. You're still kind of doing it in your way, on your terms, not pushing yourself to make those really important mental changes, to really truly neuro rewire. I can't say that. So the more bold you are and the more aggressive you are with tackling and blowing out all the rules that you had in the past around eating times and amounts and types of foods and only eating when you're really hungry. There's rules that go on and on and on. The faster that you are about breaking those, the more aggressive you are with breaking those, the faster that you will neurally rewire, because your brain's going to be forced to have to kind of think a different way. However, it's still going to always be, I think, from my opinion, my own experience, from other clients' experience, it's always the nutritional or the physical aspect is going to go a lot faster than the mental. So what's the problem with that? Well, clients worry because, well, what if I start looking healthier and then I don't get the support I need anymore? What if my parents are paying for my sessions and I start looking like I'm doing a lot better, and they don't obviously understand how eating disorders work, and it's not actually just about a look or a size or weight, which happens often. Even with professional providers, oftentimes we get confused and think there's a look to an eating disorder. There's not. So these people who are coming from a place of being in a body that looks very unwell, and as that body starts to rehabilitate, they worry, well, I feel like my parents aren't going to pay for my sessions anymore, or I'm worried my therapist isn't even going to think I'm that sick, or I'm worried that staying this committed is going to seem excessive or dramatic or weird because I don't even look that sick anymore. And I think a lot of those fears are coming from your own fears, but a lot of them could be that these people, providers, support systems, the people you're living with right now, being in quarantine. I have a lot of college students who are living at home with parents. The problem with that is that they don't fully understand eating disorders. They haven't had them before, and it doesn't make them bad people, but they don't fully understand. An example, personally for me, in my own recovery of running into that kind of the fear that I had and then having it actually happen, was I was probably like 3 or 4 months into recovery, and my parents, they don't live in the same state as me, but they came out to visit. We went out to dinner, and I was still in a place where I was ordering like 2 entrees when we'd go out. So I ordered my 2 entrees, and my dad said to me, man, like, are you still eating that much? Aren't you done with this yet? I looked very different than I did when I had started recovery 3 or 4 months in. So that was his comment to me, was, are you done eating like this? Like, you look good. You look like you're done recovering. So I had to kind of like take a step back and be like, yeah, but I'm still not fully recovered. Like, at that point, 3 or 4 months into recovery, I was, very different looking physically, but mentally was just in the very infancy of the rewiring process for me. I was still very uncomfortable in my skin. The changes that had happened felt very foreign to me. And it kind of rocked me. It kind of shook me for a minute, but I had to stand up for like what I actually knew was true in that moment, even though it felt triggering. I had to say, like, Dad, you don't understand. It's the mental part of it is the biggest problem. Like, that's what keeps me relapsing every time, because I've never fully healed the mental aspect. Every time I get to a body that doesn't look unwell anymore, and then I go straight back to my old behaviors because I haven't rewired anything. And when I explained that to him, it was kind of like, it's like he'd never fully grasped that or understood that. And whether he bought into that or believed it or not, it was very empowering for me to use my voice and be able to say what I knew was really, really important, was going to get me fully recovered. And so I have a lot of clients experiencing similar situations right now. that are very triggering for them and very much like kind of rock them and like, maybe this is excessive, maybe this is too much, maybe it is stupid that I can't just go for a little walk with my family, maybe they're wondering why I'm just sitting on the couch all day long and eating food and this is weird and But the people who stay fully committed, and don't change their commitment level based off of what their body looks like, and this happens all the time, but the people who stay committed regardless of their changes in their body, regardless of what people are saying to them, are the people who fully mentally rewire and get to full recovery. And as tough as that is, that's just the truth. So people will say, well, I don't want to be like extreme and dramatic in my recovery. Well, those are the people who actually get fully recovered, who are extreme, dramatic, hold their ground, stick to their commitments, know exactly, nothing's going to sway them. They know exactly what they need to do to fully recover, have very sustainable, really awesome full recoveries, and their brain really truly is rewired. And then they can turn around and help other people, and they can have experiences like the one I just shared to help these people that are going through similar experiences. So that's my message today. It's just been kind of with being in quarantine. Like I said, I have a lot of college age students who are living back at home with parents who mean well, I'm sure, and love their son or daughter so much and are trying to be supportive but don't fully understand. So give them some grace. However, don't let the comments that they're saying sway or change what you know you need to do in your recovery. And that can go for a spouse if you're living with, a spouse or kids or grandparents or whoever it is that you're around. Don't let their comments about what you're doing make you question what you're doing, knowing that what you're doing is right. So that's my message today. And everyone just stay strong in their recovery. And if you haven't started, get going. It's worth it. Pays off. Okay.